And so the son of David meant the Messiah. They recognized who he was. He wasn't just a normal teacher. He wasn't just a normal man. He wasn't just a prophet. He was the Messiah. And they cried, Son of David. And today we must recognize that the same Jesus is here. He's more than just a good teacher or a prophet, as some religions or teachers would say. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And he is in this place. So the first step to a miracle is recognize who Christ is. That he's the healer, he's the deliverer, he's the way, the truth, and the life.
That's good.
And he's here. Because the power of the Lord is present to heal. And the second step is this. They began to seek him and follow him. You know, it doesn't say how long they followed Jesus, but it could have been miles. But they just followed him. Obviously they were blind, so must have had to lead them. But I can just see them crying out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy. Jesus, Son of David, crying out. A powerful key for a miracle is keep focused and follow Jesus. Keep your eyes on Jesus. It's very easy to get distracted. When God cried to Jesus, it doesn't say he turned around and laid hands on him. He just kept walking. He kept moving. Yeah. And sometimes we can interpret, well, God, I'm praying, but it's like you don't even notice me. It's like nothing's happening. But they continued to follow him. They continued to believe, and they continued in their faith. And so a powerful key is to continue to follow Jesus and keep focused on him. And tonight, I want to encourage you, as I'm praying for people, keep your focus on Jesus. Don't worry about the lights or whatever going on, the person next to you. Have a simple heart to focus on him tonight, because he's your answer, not John Mellor. And step number 3, thirdly, they persisted in following him all the way to the house. You see, in the story, they followed him, and Christ went into the house, and then they followed him into the house. You see, these people didn't stay on the outside. They just kept going and going. And you got to realize, wherever Christ went, the crowds are all around him. The guys with them, they must have persisted and pushed right through to get right in where Jesus was. And sometimes with faith, some people say, well, I've been here for an hour and haven't got prayer yet. Sometimes we need to focus and say, you know what, I want to keep going, not give up. I want to keep worshiping God. And so they followed him right to where he was. This thing about persistence is a powerful key. Never give up. Amen. Never give up. And I've seen some people who've been prayed for, they haven't always seen the results they want, and then they come the next time where they keep praying and believing, all of a sudden the breakthrough happens. Never give up. And so they continue right to where Jesus was. Key number 4, they actually positioned themselves to receive a miracle. They actually positioned themselves. They got into that place where he was. And tonight, you've positioned yourself to receive a miracle. There's an open heaven here. People have been praying and fasting and believing. Yes, God can heal you at your home. Yes, he can heal you all over the place. But in these meetings, there is a focus for healing. There's a focus for prayer, for healing today. So we must position ourselves, get ourselves in a place where we can receive from God. And number 5, they confessed with their mouth what was in their heart. When Jesus asked them, do you believe I'm able to do this? They said, yes, sir. Yes, Lord. Yes. They believe. Your heart and your mouth is connected.
Yeah, that's right. Your
heart and your mouth is connected. Yeah. You can tell what's in someone's heart. Just spend a few minutes and hear what comes out of your mouth. And you know what's in their heart. And how there's an invisible connection. And they said, yes, Lord, because in their heart, they've been praying and believing. And so a powerful key is the words that come out of your mouth. Amen. And so I want to encourage you, begin to declare what the Word of God says about healing. It's very easy for your mind to interpret things. Who knows if you're on pain and suffering? Who knows that pain can speak to us? Who knows you want to have some relations who don't believe in healing or God and say, oh, don't worry about that, it's a waste of time. The thing is to listen to what God says. Listen to the Word of God. Amen. Feed your heart faith. Feed your heart. I love reading these healing stories. It builds my faith. Every time I share these wonderful stories. And I love this, that Jesus is very simple. He said, according to your faith, let it be done to you. According to your faith. They just simply believed him. And tonight, I believe you're here because you believe. You could be home doing something else. You've come because you believe God. And so, this is very simple. All he did All he did was he touched their eyes. All he did was to reach out and touch their eyes. You know that lady painting, she's a young lady, young girl. When she came last year, I just laid my hands on her, just touched her, and the power of God flowed through her. And years of that suffering just disappeared. Years. And so today, when I lay hands on people, that same power will flow because Christ lives in me. He's the healer. And today, there'll be people, I'll pray for you over your seats, or some of you can get healed just watching me pray. Because in your heart, you can reach out, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. And you know, we can actually receive as I'm praying. And some people say, they say, John, you know what? This happened live in Melbourne. As I was praying for people at the front, and people testified that as I was praying for them, they just said, Jesus, I'll have some of that too. And they got healed. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. You know, we've got to recognize there's an open heaven here. That He is in this place. And the power of the Lord is present to heal. You know, and Christ isn't just passing by. He is here. We have entered in. We are here. There's an open heaven, and He's the King of Kings. And He still does miracles today. He still heals incurable diseases. We one lady just recently, I prayed for 11 years ago, terminal cancer. 11 years ago, chronic pain. The cancer, she said the cancer was all through her body. No hope at all. 11 years ago, she testified several weeks ago. I was preaching in Kauai. She came forward. She said, you know, you prayed for me. All the pain left me. And 11 years later, I'm still cancer-free. And I had terminal cancer. And so I want to tell you, Jesus heals incurable diseases. He heals emotions. He heals pain, body, tumours, you know, all sorts of things.